Good morning students, welcome to class of business studies. Today we are going to do the new chapter, forms of business organization. Remember our chapter 1 was dealing with business, what are the features of business, what are the risks involved in a business, and what are the factors to be considered while starting a business. And remember in that chapter I told you that when we deal with the factors to be considered while starting a business, we also need to know what kind of business organization we need to have when we start a business. So those business organizations we are going to study in chapter 2. Now there are around, you can say, 5 major heads which are the forms of business organization. One is sole proprietorship. Second, joint Hindu family business. Third, partnership. Fourth, cooperative society. And fifth, joint stock company. So we are going to understand each of these forms of business organization. Today we are going to do the first 2 topics, sole proprietorship in first video, and in second video I will continue with the second point, joint stock family business. So to begin with, what is sole proprietorship? Now when we study sole proprietorship, which is a kind of a business organization, we are going to study the features, we are going to study the merits, that is the advantages of such types of organization, and then the limitations. If you want to see your textbook, the new edition of the textbook has page number 28, which deals with sole proprietorship. Now, what do you mean by sole proprietorship? If you've seen in your market areas where you see small retail shops and they run the business on their own, such business traders are called as sole proprietors, meaning they are the only owners of the business organization. And such business organizations are generally found in small trading businesses where they deal with small shops selling, some stationery, or there are some beauty parlors or some hair salons where the owner himself is giving his services. He may employ some people to help him, but as such there will be no special managerial staff that we see in big companies. So sole proprietorship means that kind of business organization which is owned by the person who himself will run the business, who himself will give the services for selling the goods that he has in his shop or giving some specific services. So sole, and whenever we deal with any topic, we are going to first deal with the introduction, or we have to give the definition, and then we have to understand the features of sole proprietorship, which are given here. Around 6 points are there, and then after understanding the features, we have to understand the merits, means what are the benefits if you have a business in a form of sole proprietorship, and then we also learn the limitations, means what are the disadvantages if you run a business in a form of sole proprietorship. So coming to the introduction, sole means only. So there is only one owner, and proprietor means owner. So sole proprietor means one who is the only owner of the business, and this type of business is found especially where personalized services are given, means he is giving services by himself, like you find in small retail shops, beauty parlors, hair salons, stationery shops, etc. Sole proprietor is a type of business unit where a person is only himself responsible for providing the capital and for bearing the risk of the enterprise and for the management of business. Meaning he will have his own resources, finance resources, he may have his own savings, or he may take a small loan with which he will start his small business. And since he is running himself, he will take decisions in the business, and in case of any loss, he is going to bear this risk of loss and he is going to manage the business himself. So this is what we understand by sole proprietorship. Now again we understand what we've understood in this definition. We will understand again in little more detail features of sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship means where there are small businessmen who start the business on their own without help of any other partner. So they are the only they are themselves the owners, they are themselves the people who are running the business, and no any expertise is taken from any other person hired in the business. Now as far as formation is concerned, how to form a business in form of sole proprietorship. So there is no special law that will govern. You don't have any special law or act under which you have to follow some rules and regulations. But yes, if you want to start a business in a form of sole proprietorship, a license may be required. And so the formation is quite easy. There are no many strict formalities. There may be some formalities like registration or license is required, but nothing as such in a more specific detail is required to be submitted. And similarly, the closure also, if you don't want to continue with the business, you can easily close your business. So formation and closure is quite simple. Liability. Now what do you mean by liability? Now liability means every business has assets and liabilities. This is what you will frequently come across in this subject of commerce stream rather. So assets means what properties you have, and liability means what are the dues that you have to pay. Suppose there is a business where you have to pay, make the payments to your suppliers, so they may give you some credit, and so they become your creditors. Or if you've taken loan from some institution or some individual, so he will be expecting the return of loan from you. So these are all forms of creditors to whom you have to pay. So all the dues that are left are called as liability, which you are liable to pay. Now in case of sole proprietor, this is the very important aspect, that in case of any loss in the business, you generally pay off the dues by selling off your shop or whatever material you have in your shop. But if the dues are still pending, then they will also recover from your personal assets, like your own house or your own other car or personal car or something. So they will recover by selling these personal properties to recover and pay off the dues. So this kind of liability is called unlimited. Means it is not just limited to the extent that you have invested in the business, but also it will go to the extent of your personal properties. So sole proprietors have unlimited liability. So this means that they have to pay debts. If business assets are not sufficient, the sole proprietor will pay from his personal property. He will sell his personal property to pay business debts or the due amounts. Next is the sole risk bearer. Because he is running the business on his own, he is the only person who's taking the decisions. So there is a risk which he is bearing it alone. At the same time, whatever profit is gained by him is supposed to be the return of his risk bearing. So he alone gets the profit for his risk bearing of the business operations. Control. He makes a decision without anyone's interference. Means he's the only person who's controlling. There is no other person who makes any decision along with him. So there is no other interference. No separate entity. The person who's the owner himself is running the business. So according to law, there is no distinction between the owner and the business. So the owner is responsible for whatever activities he will do. Means if he's done anything wrong in the business, he will be held liable and action may be taken against him. Lack of business continuity. This is very important because he's the only person who's running the business. In case of his death or insanity means where he's not capable to run the business, he's not normal, or loses, there's an imbalance in my mental imbalance, or because of imprisonment, he's done some fraud and he's imprisoned, or due to physical ailment he's fallen sick, or due to bankruptcy that he has to pay some dues, and when you don't have your personal assets to pay, then you're called bankrupt. Then in such case he will not be able to run the business, and in such case then it may also lead to closure of business. That means in case of death, there is no one else to continue with the business. The business may be the business will have to be stopped, and this way it will cease to exist. So because there is no other person to continue with the business, the sole proprietorship may run for not very long time in case of such situations. So that is the features. Now from these features you may have noted that there are some advantages while running a business in this kind of manner, in manner of sole proprietorship, and there are some disadvantages. So from these features only we can make out there are some merits. So what are these merits? Quick decision making, confidentiality of information, direct incentive, sense of accomplishment, and ease of formation and closure. Now again we can understand quickly, because he is the only person managing the business, he is able to make a quick decision. So there is no conflict and there is flexibility, that whatever decision you have to make, you can make it on your own. Confidentiality of information, because there is no law requiring you to publish your accounts in any paper or in any media. So your accounts are with you, they are secret, they are confidential. Whatever operations you make, they are all kept secret. So that is one benefit. You don't have to disclose how you are operating a business. Next, direct incentive, because he is running on his own. Whatever hard work he is making, he will earn the profits, and he is the only sole investor and owner of the business, so there is no need to share the profit with anyone. So whatever he earns will be with him. Sense of accomplishment, because he is running on his own with his own decision making skill. Whatever, if he is making good profit, that will be his personal satisfaction, and he will feel motivated, self-motivated to run in a speedy way and to make better profits. Ease of formation, as we said, there is no special law to govern, so the formation and closure is very simple. So any small businessman can start a business on his own by just making some simple registrations and getting some license, and he can open his business. So it's very simple to start a business in form of sole proprietorship. Now we'll see the limitations. There are some flaws, there are some disadvantages also when you run a business in form of sole proprietorship. What are these? Limited resources. As you know, he is the only person who is investing. So whatever he is investing is out of his personal savings, or even if he takes some loan, it could be only within his capacity that he will get. To the extent of his own capacity to pay, he will get the loan. So the resources will be limited. In case he wants to expand the business, he may not be able to do it because he may not get huge loan amounts in his own capacity. Limited life of a business concern. We just said that in case of death or insanity or bankruptcy, remember here we said that imprisonment or physical ailment or bankruptcy and all. So in such a case, he will not be able to continue with the business, and this will lead to closure of business. The business will have to be shut. So the life of the business is limited, subject to these conditions. Unlimited liability. As we said, the sole proprietor has unlimited liability, meaning in case of debts to be paid, it can be recovered from his personal assets, from his personal property, which will be sold off and paid off. So in that case, this is a limitation with the sole proprietor, because he's running the business with a high risk. Creditors recover their dues from not only business assets, but owner's assets will be sold. Poor decision or unfavorable conditions may cause financial burden to him alone. This is alone. So sole owners do not take high risk of expanding the business, and they keep small scale operation. Hence, because of limited resources, unlimited liability, they are not able to expand the business, and they have to keep the business operations only at a small scale. And then limited managerial ability, because he is not able to afford to keep a person with a good managerial skill. He cannot hire such talented people because of limited resources. He assumes the responsibility. Generally you've seen the small businesses where they run small businesses, and they themselves make the purchases, selling, distributorship, accounting, financing, everything is done by them. And in many areas they may not be so expert or capable to manage in these fields. So sometimes the decisions may not be wise, or may not be the very ideal decisions. So sometimes it may lead to wrong decisions making, and or may lead to loss in the company, loss in the business. So hence that is a limitation, where they're not able to meet the expenses of talented people, and they have to run on their own. And with this limitation, they are not able to expand their business. So these are the limitations. So now you've understood sole proprietorship. Thank you.